Hello everyone, this is Shoshna, Department of AIDS, Annamacharya University, and today's topic is Emergence of Software Engineering. Emergence of software engineering as computer became more powerful and software systems became large and more complex. Earlier programming methods are not sufficient to manage this complexity, so new design approaches are evolved step by step. Uh, Let it explain clearly. In the early days of computers, the software was very small and simple. Programs were written by individuals using trial and error methods without formal planning, documentation, or testing. As computer became more powerful and applications grew larger, this informal approach started falling, where this situation led to what it known as the software crisis, which finally gave rise to the discipline called software engineering. During late 1960s, many large software projects were delivered late, exceeds their budgets, containing many errors, were difficult to maintain, did not meet user requirements, where it failed completely in some cases. These repeated failures highlighted that writing code alone was not sufficient to build larger and reliable systems, where the program size and complexity with advanced in hardware and user demands, programs increased from hundreds to million lines of code, where the system became more complex and development time and efforts grew rapidly. The manual trial and error development became unsustainable, and without systematic methods controlling such projects became almost impossible. To overcome all these problems, a more structured and engineering basic approach was required, where similar to civil and mechanical engineering. This software emerged defined as the application of a systematic, disciplined, and quantifiable approach to the development, operation, and maintenance of software. And coming to introduction, the emergence of software engineering, it was developed when the computer became more powerful, where the programs became large and complex, where the old programming methods were not enough to design a projects or new designs, where the new design approaches or disciplines evolved step by step. And the first one coming to step by step, let us discuss step by step process, where the first one is early computer programming, and it was developed in the year 1950s. Computers were in the early of computers were very slow and limited memory. Even simple processing tasks took considerable computational time on those computers. Those programs were usually written in assembly languages, where assembly language is nothing but zeros and ones, where the code was small but very hard. There was no proper structure or planning. We're coming to characteristics, where the early computer programming contains very slow and memory was limited, where the programs were written in assembly language, where the code was very short and it is very difficult to understand because there is no proper structure or planning, where we can call it as exploratory programming. And coming to next one, high level programming, and it was developed in the year 1960. Computer became faster with the introduction of semiconductor technology in the year 1960s. With the availability of more powerful computers, it became possible to solve larger and more complex problems. All this time introduced high level languages such as Fortran and COBOL, uh, and compared to early computer programming and high level programming, here the semiconductor technology is used, where the computer became more faster and powerful, and it makes it easy to solve bigger problems where the high level languages are used as Fortran and Cobalt, where this helps become easier than assembly. And next one is control flow based design. And the control flow based design, this approach focus on the order of execution of program statements, where the control structure and iteration like a sequence, selections, and iteration. It uses structured programming concepts where the order of execution statements uses sequence and selection. The selection statements is called if else, and iteration where the looping statements are used. And then coming to next one, data structured oriented design. The data structured oriented design, this approach focus on data organization. First, data structures are designed. There, the code is written based on data. For example, if data is a record, the operations like insert, delete, and update are created are used, where it focus on designing data structures first, then write code based on them. For example, as I said now, if data is a record, insert, delete, and update operations are created. And coming to next one, data flow oriented design. The data flow oriented design, it focuses on flow of data through the system. It identifies inputs, processes, and outputs. It uses data flow diagrams where it is suitable for large business applications. For example, if we take online ticket booking system where the input is ticket booking details and the process is payment here, and the output is booking confirmation, where it focuses on how data moves through the system, where it identifies the input and processes and outputs. And coming to next one, object oriented design, where it was introduced in the year 1990s. It focuses on real world objects, where it combines data and functions into objects. It supports data abstraction and inheritance. For example, if we take a student and teacher object, it supports easy maintenance and more reliable software. Uh, and the example, as I said now, teacher and student, the advantages of object-oriented design is it is very easy to maintain and it is a reliable software. And coming to next one, other developments over the past 5 years, software has improved significantly. It focuses on quality, reliability, maintainability, where these new techniques include lifecycle models and project management and testing techniques and specification techniques, etc. Where over time software engineering improved greatly, where it focused on areas like software quality and reliability and maintainability, where the new techniques are introduced like software lifecycle models and project management and testing techniques and specification techniques are introduced. Software design technique continues to evolve into new challenges and new approaches, where modern software uses combinations of previous methods. Uh, where I had explained before that where the expiratory style is invented in the year 1950s, and where the assembly language was used there. And next one is control flow oriented style. And next one is data structure oriented style, where it was introduced in the year 1970s. And next one is data flow oriented design, where it was introduced in the year 1980s. And object oriented design, where it was introduced in the year 1990s. And some future styles are there like client server design and embedded software design are used in emergence of software engineering. Thank you.